Money can't buy you love. Or maybe it can. Katrina, you're a gold digger.
Nessa!
Tone wastes your life, your youth, your money. Are you going to sue him? I'm talking about your man, your partner. Are you going to sue him for negligence of your finances and time?
Oh, man, I don't know. I couldn't afford to do that. So I don't think so.
When was the last time you and Tone have been petty towards each other?
5 minutes ago.
What did you do? Because I know it's your fault.
No.
It's always your fault.
Well, it was actually the other day.
Did you destroy Tone's credit score?
No, Nessa, he won't co-sign anything with me.
Not even a marriage?
Oh, definitely not a marriage. Fingers still feeling light over here.
Okay.
Great. You brought it up, not me.
Let's talk about money and relationships. Money can't buy you love, or maybe it can. And I think this is your dream come true, Katrina, because this whole entire time, I feel like I've read enough articles that talked about how couples should not share their money. They should not have all their money invested into one account. Now, you could have a shared joint account, but you should also have your own separate individual accounts, which I'm all for, by the way. I do think it's important to keep your money separate.
Right.
You could have one joint account or whatever, multiple, but ultimately I think you should have your own thing going on. Now, I'm wrong, apparently. There was some new research done with a financial twist from Cornell University. And they were talking about that couples who have joint bank accounts tend to stay together. So Katrina, for you, I feel like you would be pro this. You've always wanted Tone's money.
No, I haven't.
That's actually why you're with him.
Nessa, this is untrue. Please
You're a
negate
gold
your
digger.
statement. No, I'm not. I wish I was, because I'd be sitting here with some jewelry and all of that.
You do have jewelry on. You always got nice earrings on. You always got your necklace
Okay, Nessa,
on.
please. These are $4 earrings that I ordered that came in a 12 pack. Let's be for real. They're going to turn green, so I'm going to have to replace them.
Right.
This is actually from my mother. It's
And
nice
your
jewelry.
mother likes the finer things
She
in
got
life.
you one of these too.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah.
All that to say, yes, I do think that finances in a couple relationship is interesting because we don't share. We don't share our accounts. I wish we did do something a little bit more sharing, but we haven't got to that point yet. But
Wait. And how long have you and Tone been together for?
Nessa, we can also say there's a lot of things that haven't happened for the amount of time that Tone and I have been
just
together
give us a time frame so people understand. People might be new to us
all right.
completely.
So Tone, my partner, and I have been together for 12 years. We live together and we have a child.
Okay, so when would be the right time to have a joint account?
Probably once we had a child. I think, like, okay, we're not married, right? Even though we live together, if we could figure out our expenses, I don't think we needed a joint account. I actually am a fan of potentially having an account where we share money.
Okay.
Because what happens is that we have multiple things that we both have to pay for, right?
Okay, fair.
So what if we open a joint account where we put in money that we can like afford? Let's say he makes more money than me, right?
Right.
So he'll put in just theoretically $500 a month and I would put in $300
Sure.
a month. And then for that, we would pay for our childcare. We would pay for our rent. We would
Right.
pay for our mortgage. After that, we spend whatever we want. And I don't know if you remember, we've had, experts, financial experts on our show
Right.
telling us to do a financial date. So we had Vivian too. She was on episode 8. We had
Right.
Melissa Jean-Baptiste. She was on episode 28. They've mentioned having a financial date with your partner to crunch away and do this. But, Tone and I, we never actually deal with anything until we have to. So we probably won't ever figure out our finances until we're passing away and have to figure out how to give it to Amara.
That was a deep statement.
It got really deep.
really fast. And I don't know if we're supposed to unpack that
We don't
right
have to
now
unpack it.
because I love you and I care for you. So I don't know where we should go. But
What about you guys?
we don't have a joint.
Did you guys
Colin,
have a conversation?
You know what? Colin and I never had a conversation about joint accounts.
You're
I think
avoiding it too.
No, I think he knows my stance on it. I
Right.
think he knows that I personally enjoy working, having my own thing, having, my own finances under my control. Could be a control freak issue that I might have. Truthfully, right? When you think about it, why is it so important for me to have my own accounts?
Right.
I don't know, maybe there's a deeper conversation there. To your point, I don't want to leave you out to dry by yourself. Maybe there's something to unpack within me and how I was raised that I like to have my own stuff when it comes to finances, accounts. Now, I'm not opposed to the idea that we have a shared account. We could have multiple shared accounts for all I care, but I definitely still need to have my own thing.
Here, I will say this, because this is saying it's a secret to everlasting love to have a joint account or to combine your finances, right? Tone and I, we don't have finances, or we don't have a joint account.
Whoa.
Tone and I, we don't have any joint account. We've never had the conversation. And I will say this, we do not know who's paying for what at any given moment. And that actually just ends up that Tone is paying for stuff. And there's been little comments that we have to figure it out because he's like, all right, well, what are we going to do? Because he's paying for everything. So maybe he's been a little snippy with me these past couple weeks. And maybe it's because he's been paying for everything.
Yeah.
But he makes more money than me. So I've been, all right, go ahead and pay for it.
Well, here's the thing.
More to unpack now. That's a very thing that we probably have to figure out. Whatever.
I think we need therapists.
Right.
If you are a therapist, licensed therapist.
For what kind of therapy? Financial therapy?
I think
Couple
financial
therapy?
relationship, commitment. I think you need the whole package.
I need a life therapy.
Yeah.
I need someone to take over my life and fix it.
Right. Well, I don't know if you could let go.
I can't. I just want to be involved. Like, I can't let go.
You're a control freak. I am a control freak. Part of reflection, Katrina, that I have been telling you and desperately begging you to do throughout these years, again, I'm being very vulnerable and honest. I felt like I had a lot of flaws. I felt like I didn't like how I felt after situations. Sometimes I didn't like how I felt just, on any given day.
Right.
I didn't like that feeling, so I wanted to work on it. I allowed those feelings to force me to self-reflect and to become a better person. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying to you, in order to do that, it's not easy. I don't think you got it to do it right now at where you're at. You're stubborn. You like to be right. It's hard for you, sometimes when you are snippy and you want to prove a point, you will triple, quadruple. I don't know how do you say it when it's 5 times?
Quintuple.
How about 6 times?
Sextuple.
7 times.
Septuple.
Spelling bee champ came in 2nd place. But what I'm saying is that it's going to require work. So I think you can do it, but you really have to commit to it.
You know what's funny? I do believe I can, and I don't know, I think this is a value I want to instill tomorrow. I really believe if I can do anything I want to do, I just have to be dedicated and committed to do it.
Absolutely.
Like I think like right now, okay, listen, I wish I was slimmer, right? I wish I weighed less.
So am I. I feel the same way.
Right. So I really believe in my heart that I can be at whatever weight I want it to be. I just would have to be dedicated to do it.
I agree.
But the thing is, I don't care to.
Right. Exactly. So my point in the conversation about you and Tone, do you think Tone trusts you with a joint account? Would he trust you to make decisions financially for your family?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. I'll tell you this. My daughter Amara, she's received, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, and sometimes they're monetary.
Right.
They're sitting in my account, so he trusts me to have those.
Okay. Well, I think he trusts that you wouldn't do anything stupid
with Amara stuff.
By the way, your daughter's almost 3 years old, just to paint the picture. So, okay. I think when it comes to joint accounts, you really got to trust this person 100%. Because listen, there could be conflicts when it comes to how that money is being spent. It has to be set guidelines of where that money is going. Okay, it's mortgage, it's the rent, it's childcare, it's the electric bill,
insurance,
water bill,
utilities.
insurance, all these things, right? Something that's universal that you both can agree on.
That you guys are both benefiting from.
Right. I also think that if you care about your own personal privacy, it's not going to be private anymore when you have a joint account because your partner can see everything you're doing. So Katrina, if you're on one of those cheating websites, those apps, like for married people, they have Ashley Madison, right? As an
How do you know
example.
that?
Funny story. By the way, there's a doc on...
I know, I want to watch it. On Ashley Madison.
Yeah, on Netflix that I want to watch. I try to watch the first episode. I get so distracted at times. But quick tangent and why I know that name... I was talking to this guy back in a day, back obviously a gazillion years ago. Of course, there were red flags that he was scummy, but I overlooked it like a dodo brain. And I remember he left his iPad out and I was just using it, like just to use it to go online.
Right.
And I remember seeing all these apps like on the desktop or whatever. And I don't know if it was a desktop. I don't know where I saw it, but I saw the name Ashley Madison. And
like a notification.
Maybe it was a notification.
Was it app notification? Like,
I don't know if it was a notification. I just remember seeing the name Ashley Madison. And I immediately went to, he's definitely talking to other people and he's being a liar to me, right?
A girl named Ashley? Like, did you think it was
like
a girl
I thought
named
it was like, okay, because it's, Ashley Madison. So then I Googled it, looked it up, and then I start looking. Now I'm curious to understand what this website app is all about or whatever. But yes.
And again, Ashley Madison is a website or app for married people to cheat. So when you did all your Googles and you found out, that's not just a dating app. It's not just Tinder or Grindr or Bumble, whatever.
Right.
It's an app specifically for if you're in a relationship.
Right.
Let's cheat and keep it low.
Right. So
that's wild. That's so wild that someone would
isn't
make
that
that.
insane?
That someone would make that. And there's probably, let's find out how many subscribers. How many people subscribe to Ashley Madison? 70 million cheaters.
Crazy.
That's wild.
Right. So back to the joint account, you're not going to have privacy anymore.
Yeah.
Your significant other can see all of your transactions. So for you, when you're cheating, Tone's going to know exactly where you are when you're cheating, AKA spending all the money on things that you're not supposed to.
Do you have things that you wish Colin doesn't know? Like, does he judge you for your purchases?
He judges me because I buy family packs of Gushers from Costco, and I definitely hit it not that long ago. I remember I try to strategically buy the family packs when he's not home, when he's like on a work trip, like when he goes and, has meetings. I'm not kidding. Look at my order list because I'll use the app. I love Instacart, and we are not sponsored by anybody that we have ever mentioned. Okay?
But feel free to sponsor us.
But please feel free. I love Instacart. And so immediately, right when I know he's going out of town, boom, Costco.
So why do you have to hide? What does he judge you? What about eating a family pack of Gushers?
Continuously say, I want to lose weight. I want to get back to my regular self. So, Colin's a very literal person.
Yeah.
So if I'm saying these are my goals, this is what I want, but I'm not doing any of that, guess what?
Right.
He's going to be like, well, then why did you just scarf down 70 packets of Gushers?
See, but also he's a professional athlete because
Right.
I remember I've said it before, and he was trying to help me get on a wellness plan. Like, all right.
And he really cares.
And he really cares. So
And
he's
he
like,
still
okay,
cares.
you want to do that? Like, you should do this 5 days a week. You should
Right.
do this, and that, and the third. So,
Right.
If that's your goal, he really wants to help you be in that goal.
Right.
And here's the problem with you, Nessa. You'll buy the family pack of Gushers
For myself.
70 packs,
Right.
and you'll eat them in 2 days.
I think it's either 72 packets in it or 75.
But you will
Right.
literally face boxes
Yes.
in one sitting.
Yes.
I get
There's
it
a
if you have the
problem.
family pack and you buy it and it lasts you a month.
No, I agree. I definitely think there's a problem. Again, if you are a nutritionist, somebody that understands food and how this impacts us, our brain, and why I crave sugar so bad, other than the fact that we know it is just as addictive as cocaine from what we've heard.
From what we've heard, shout
Right.
out to one of our guests, Dr. Naidu. That was an episode back last year.
Right. So meaning clearly I'm in it. I'm in it.
So that's it. That's the only thing. Tone, I know he would judge me for the amount of car share rides I take because I ain't made of money, but me and the train, we don't get along that often. So,
Well, look, to be fair, I think Tone also has to understand the amount of hours you're working, where you're working, and all these things. I think it's, yes, can you take the train? After a long day, what you do, if there's something
fair.
to spend money on, for me, in your world, I understand that. You always have bags.
Right.
You got 10 croissants on you. You got,
I do.
50 water bottles.
Yeah, you know what?
You never finish.
I carry this water bottle and I love it, but it makes my backpack so heavy. Like,
right.
I'd rather just buy one when I get to where I got to go, but ice cold water.
It's delicious.
At least, you know what? I don't have to take a car round trip. I can take the train the first way.
That's my point.
But I find any excuse. I'll be like, oh yeah, I have an extra something in my bag. Oh, like I want to carry an extra bag just so I can justify it.
I totally understand that. So it's different if you were buying things to spoil yourself.
Yeah, I do not spoil myself. I spoil Amara.
Right. He might feel like, hey, Amara doesn't need 20 shoes this delivery from Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe limit it down to 5.
I will say I don't buy shoes for her. Like kids, they don't need shoes.
Right.
When I was younger, I used to think, oh, I'm going to get my niece and nephew this newest pair of sneakers, this, that, and the third. As I got older, I'm like, damn, their parents even tried to warn me like, yeah, you don't have to because they ain't going to wear them.
Right. Well, I want to go back to the joint account really quick, okay? So I think if you trust your partner, you aren't worried that they're going to misuse the money in there, right? What if there's somebody who likes to gamble?
I like to gamble, but I would never gamble Tone's money unless he let me. I would love it if he said, hey, babe, here's $1,000. Go ahead and go to the casino and do what you want. I would love that.
Right.
That's my love language, baby. Can you tell him to give me that as a gift?
Yeah, I'll tell him. But meaning, I don't think he would trust you. You might might go on a gambling escapade. But meaning, if you're going to have a joint account, these are things that you really have to think about, right? Is this person financially responsible? Could they go ahead and misuse the funds? Yeah, if any moment in any of these questions that you feel like the answer is yes, you should not have a joint account with them.
Okay, so what do you think, so Tone makes more money than me. I make less. We have X amount of finances. You know how I spend. You know how Tone spends. What kind of situation, now you're not a financial expert, but let's see. What do you think Tone and I should do? Should he pay for everything? I feel weird I will preface that. Again, you know us, so I would feel weird. Like I'm a very 50-50 person.
I do think he should pay for the rent all the way.
He does right now. He pays for the rent all the way. Because you know what? We're supposed to split it, but I have not sent him no money to split it. He goes, we got to figure this out. But I've been paying for childcare. Which I think is very fair.
Yeah, I don't think you should.
Yeah.
He makes more money than you. And I'm not saying this to be mean, he's home more than you. And
so he uses more of the house than I do.
And you do partake and you do pay a lot of stuff.
You know what? And you know what? The key word here is equity, right? Equity versus equality. It's not 50-50.
Right. We learned this from Vivian as well.
Again, episode 8. 50-50 doesn't mean literally you pay 50%, I pay 50%. It means you pay what you can pay. I will pay what I can pay. Whoever can handle it,
that's it.
We'll handle more of it. And then when the tide turns, you switch it up. 50-50 is really just holding each other down.
I agree. And that's how it should be. So, it's just a reminder that you got to really know the person that you're with. One more thing to think about if you decide to have a joint account with your partner is they could mess up your credit.
Ooh.
And Katrina, this is your love language.
I didn't even think about messed up credit. Add that to my tombstone, baby.
Right.
Put that in my obituary.
So meaning maybe this is why Tone does not want a joint account with you, because he knows it is inevitable for his credit score to be taken down by your mishaps.
You know what would cause 2 huge celebrations for me? Like we got to take a moment and pop bottles. Once my credit becomes good again, and when I ever pay off my student loans. Those are life celebrations when they happen. I don't think they want. I think I'm going to be one of those people that will have credit debt and student loan debt when I die. It is what it is, but that's why I'm trying to win the lottery.
You don't see that as a waste of money?
I do. I think it's, what do you mean? Paying it off or paying interest?
No, the lottery, spending your money on that versus using that money towards like different things that you have to pay off.
It's entertainment to me. Like if I spend $2 and give myself a chance to win 70 million.
I'm not going to do this with you because we can calculate all the money you have spent on lottery tickets. In addition, I should charge you. What? I should send you an invoice for all the times you've bullied me to play the lottery, knowing damn well we're not going to win
You
it.
see, I don't need that negative attitude. Check that negative attitude at the door, because your bad vibes is why we're not winning. When I watch sports, anything,
Okay.
I can't watch with people like Nessa who goes, well, that's why they're not doing it, because they're not catching this ball or they're dribbling it out of bounds. I can't. I cannot. Like,
First
we
off,
need to give good vibes.
You're giving me too much credit. Like, I know what's going on when I'm watching a game. Usually my sentiment is they're an idiot.
That is it. Yeah. And
Why did they miss that shot? Get him off the team.
And I get mad because I'm like, Nessa, he was just guarded by 3 people. That's why he missed the shot.
And then I'll say, but Kobe did it. And that's why Kobe's the greatest.
But Kobe's not always making that guarded by 3 people. Like, if you watched Kobe games, great,
Yes.
amazing,
Right.
greatness.
Right.
When he would miss a shot, would you hate on him?
No, because he was going to make it up and he's still going to make it to where the team wins.
Okay.
He had to get the job done.
Okay.
And he always did.
Okay. But I'm just saying, you're quick to be at people's throats
Because they're
and
not
necks.
Kobe.
Yeah, they're not Kobe.
Okay, but anyways,
Get me started with sports.
I can't. Okay, so let's continue the conversation about finances in a relationship. Things are getting a bit testy with you right now, Katrina. I feel like your blood pressure's a little bit up between you and Tone.
It is.
I'm a bit concerned about you guys anyways.
Maybe it's this. Maybe this is why he's so mad at me.
Because he feels like you're reckless with the money.
He just feels we haven't had a discussion about it. And it'd be different if we had a discussion, be like, hey, I'll take care of rent, you take care of this. But he's like sitting there thinking, okay, well, what are we doing? Are we splitting this or not? So that's probably also.
Just tell him. Stop
Like,
trying
no,
to
bro.
be nice.
You got to pay for it, bro. I can't do it.
Exactly. He's home more. He makes more than you. And that's that. I don't know what else to tell you guys. And you know what? I think let's just be honest, have a moment right now for women. A lot of times, especially us who are career driven, we are financially independent. We have been doing our own thing for a very long time. There's a little bit of pride when we're asking somebody to help with something.
I hate it.
That is me 100%, which is why I like to have my own accounts, which is why I like to pay for my own things with Colin in general. I mean, yes, of course, he covers lots of things, but in general, I still like to have my own accounts so that I can go to dinner and take my friend out and spend, hundreds of dollars in oysters that I didn't realize it was going to cost so damn much.
Let's go back there tonight.
So I'm just saying in general, pride is also a part of it for us. And we have to learn not to hold on to that pride and just say it for what it is. Tone makes more money than you. He is home more than you. That means his commute and all the less expenses. He should cover it.
Cool. I'm going to record that. I'm going to clip it and send it to him.
Yeah, I stand on it. So all that to say, maybe money can buy you love, which was the initial conversation. Right now, let me ask you something, Katrina. Would Tone be more attractive to you if he paid for everything in your life, gave you that $1,000 to go gamble with, said, hey, I'm going to go and help you. I'm going to fund your lifestyle.
Oh my gosh, you looked at my clothes and you judged it just
I
now.
did. Well, I did judge
down
it.
at my clothes.
I was going to say, get your hair done, but I know how you feel about that. I was going to say, go get your nails done. Then I saw your nails.
This is quite faded.
So he's like, I'm going to fund your lifestyle.
No, he wouldn't be more attracted to me. He'd be more attracted to me if he was just nice and not such a grumps all the time.
Well, now you know why he's not going to go ahead and fund your lifestyle, because you wouldn't even appreciate it.
I don't care.
And that's why he doesn't want to pay for the full rent. You are setting yourself up for failure.
And you know what? Here's the thing. And this is going to get us in one of these tangent circles. I don't want him to. I feel so weird having him pay for the rent.
Right. I mean, we're playing ourselves. It's our pride. It's our ego. We're feeding the monster.
So all that to say, maybe Tone and I, or anybody, you'll find more love if you share your finances. Nessa, we probably need to share our finances so we can rebuild our friendship.
Never.
Yes.
You couldn't pay me enough to share an account with you.
I couldn't pay you.
Well, not you. Someone else.
Pay you.
I would never trust you.
Nessa.
No. I know you. I know how reckless you are. I know your spontaneous spending.
It's getting hot in here.
I know your
Getting hot in
life.
here.
I know what you do. Here's the thing. If I had hundreds of millions of dollars, I think I'd be a little bit more open to it.
Okay, I have a question. If you knew that my bank account was bigger, would you judge me? No, that's the point, that my bank account is not big and I live a lifestyle like I got a big bank account.
Exactly. So, yes.
Don't share your finances.
Yeah.
Don't listen to this.
Don't listen to this. whatever article. They're trying to set you up to fail. And let's not even mention if you decide to go through a separation, a divorce, or a breakup, and then you have to untangle all of these situations. It's not worth it. Anyways,
Maybe that's why Tone doesn't want to marry me, because he doesn't want to have to clean it up afterward once we break up.
I don't think it's that he doesn't want to marry you. I think that he just hasn't had time to get to it. Katrina, I'm going to be honest. Let's have this conversation.
Let's have this convo.
Who would be planning the wedding for you?
Me.
He's not. I'm sorry.
Nessa, I have pulled off some amazing trips and last minute stuff. And not saying that I would do it last minute, but we've had 3 big birthday parties, two big parties for
a wedding is substantially different than a surprise birthday party.
It's okay, not surprise, but I would handle business. You don't think I can help plan a goddamn wedding, Nessa? You
and Tone cannot agree on how much to spend on napkins. You wouldn't be able to agree on how much to spend on flowers.
No, you wouldn't. You know why? As long as it was somebody, and I'm sure we could chat GPT it. Sorry, wedding planners. Give us a list, a checklist of everything we have to do. Here's our budget. How much should we spend on each? Bro, get that answer in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Give me companies to call that are in the New York area. No. Sorry, wedding planners, bro. I really think I could do that.
Why do you keep saying sorry, wedding planners?
Because it says that ChatGPT is taking over the wedding planning industry.
I mean, it's taking over everybody's industry.
Yeah, but specifically in this conversation that we're having,
right?
Wedding planners, that's what you would go to a wedding planner for.
Yeah.
Now, ChatGPT might not have the hookup that the wedding planner would have because they keep giving a certain business consistent business.
Yeah, but the money that you would pay the wedding planner,
I'll just call.
Right.
I'll call when I'm on Nessa's time.
Right. I mean, you do that anyway. So my point is that's the reason why you guys haven't gotten married, in my opinion.
Such a ridiculous reason.
I think the indecisiveness from the both of you.
Who do you think is more indecisive, me or Tone?
I don't know. That's tough. That's hard.
Tone.
I used to think it was you. I think it's Tone.
Yep. Because you know what? There's going to come to, I'll come to the point before him that this just has to get done. Let me just make a decision.
Right.
I will come to that point before him.
Yeah, it's hard for Tone to get to that. I don't know why.
Maybe
you know it's something internal. Maybe we all need therapists.
I know why. Because I probably have told him multiple times that it was the wrong decision. So he was like, well,
no,
shit.
Tone's always been indecisive.
Okay. Well, then multiple people in his life. Because I think indecisiveness when it comes to making decisions derives from the fact that you don't feel like you're making the right decision. So you want to make sure you're making the right decision by asking the people around you who are directly involved in the decision you make. So what do you think? And you don't want to just pull the trigger on a decision without getting their input, because then you do all this work and then all of a sudden, oh, we should have done it that way. Well, you should have told me at the beginning.
Honestly, it's a miracle how long you guys have been together and are thriving and doing well and have a child, because you guys are truly the most indecisive people. So I can't even imagine what a conversation between you two would look like. No, you do it. No, what do you mean? Why would you say that? Well, I don't know. Why did you say that? This conversation,
Father's Day, we decided to go to the beach the morning we woke up. Mm-hmm. And then that morning, right before we started packing our bags, we decided which beach to go to. And here we live in New York City. You got to kind of make a commitment to where you're going, especially when you're traveling with a kid, how far you're going, what you got to pack. We decided right before we hopped in the car.
And look, thriving, doing well, it works. I mean, I think it's dysfunctional, but who am I? I'm dysfunctional. So that's why apparently I'm attracted to you guys. So
because Colin's a little bit I'll make a decision when it comes to it.
Colin is just, hey, I'll get there when I get there. I'll figure it out. That's very hard for me.
Oh my gosh, you're surrounded by the 3 of us.
Yeah, because clearly that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm attracted to dysfunctional planning. Anyways, so money can't buy you love, in my opinion. Keep your money separate from whoever. Keep your money, what's yours is yours, and that's that. Maybe one joint account, maybe for household things. Other than that, hold on to your money. That's it. Individually. Okay, so speaking of money in relationships, how would you feel if Tone decided to sue you today for not doing house chores?
What?
If he was like, Katrina, I told you to take the train, stop doing whatever car sharing app that you do every single day. Mm-hmm. And he decided to sue you, and he wanted to be compensated because you guys now have a joint account.
I think that'd be ridiculous.
Would you break up with him if he sued you?
I think so, yes. I only think he would sue me if we were already broken up. If you're suing me while we're in the relationship, Like, what happened to having a conversation or coming to a point?
What if you're not in a relationship?
Yeah, then
So it's okay if Tone sues you if you're not in a relationship?
No,
with
I
him?
just think either way, if anybody sues me, I can't rock with you again.
You saw the story of this woman who sued her boyfriend because he was supposed to pick her up, take her to the airport because, you know, she was supposed to catch her flight. Ultimately, she missed her flight and was forced to travel the next day. And because of that, she missed all her obligations of this trip. She was supposed to go to a concert. She couldn't go to that. And she decided to sue her man of 6 years because of the money she'd lost in this situation. So all because he did not give her a ride, boom, courthouse energy. I understand what she is saying. I don't agree, but I understand. Don't waste my time.
Then break up with them. Like, why you gotta sue them? That's ridiculous. I think this is a red flag for the boyfriend. I think they're both red flags. I wouldn't date either of them. But I'm just saying, she is real extra when it comes to crime and punishment for her boyfriend who just didn't give her a ride to the airport. Right. And he is a bad boyfriend for not giving her a ride to the airport when they agreed on it.
I think the minute you start agreeing to doing things and you don't do it,
red flag.
It's a waste of your time.
Yeah.
So the story was on Stuff on this website, right? And it goes on to say all the other problematic things that her boyfriend did. Ultimately, he just never kept his word. He was supposed to take care of her dogs. He did not. He agreed to stay at her house while she was away. He did not. So I think the red flags on this boyfriend, he's not someone you could depend on. He's not committed. And I do think he needs to learn a lesson. If you're going to be in a relationship, then you need to hold your end of the bargain up, period. So now he had to learn the hard way by getting sued by his girlfriend.
I just think it's breakup worthy. Like, why sue him? I get it. This guy sounds like a bad guy.
And sue him. Listen.
It's a waste of time.
Look, is it excessive? Sure.
Yes.
In our rational mind, yes. However, all I'm saying is that we need to value time more. If people are playing with your time and playing in your face, you should be able to sue them. They need to be taught a lesson because they're going to continue this problematic behavior. Don't waste my time. Okay, let's go back to this story about this woman who sued her boyfriend. They were together for 6 years. Why she sued him was the premise that he was not doing the things that he said he was going to do. He said he was going to do X, Y, Z, and guess what? Nothing got done. So she probably got to a breaking point, which is why she sued him. She did not win any money in this situation.
Waste of time.
That is also a waste of time, but I also think she should have got something. Because imagine, we just know some of the things that he did not do that he said he would do. In her opinion, she feels like him agreeing to do something is legal binding. It is some type of agreement that should be upheld. And he did not do his part. And she's just sick of him.
You could be sick of him, but you don't have to sue him. I think that's over the top. No, that is the story is that she sued him because he wasn't upholding his end of the bargain. I think that's ridiculous. It's not wasting your time. No, it's not wasting your time if you were in love with him and you guys had a great relationship. They were together 6 years.
It's not just about not doing the things that he said he would. It's the ramifications from it, right? So it's her missing her flight. There's travel
You're
costs
bad.
change.
You chose the wrong guy.
Right. Concert. She missed maybe other obligations. This is just a snapshot of how problematic this boyfriend is in the relationship.
Her bad.
It is. She picked a guy that is not committed.
Right.
He's not going to follow through. I still think it's warranted that she wants to hold him accountable for the financial loss because of his negligence of not keeping his word and holding his end of the bargain up. I can understand it. It's not something I personally would do, but I understand the frustration. Let me ask you something.
Sure.
You and Tone have been together for a very long time.
Bajillion.
All the years you have been putting this blindfold to all the red flags, right? And he doesn't do anything that he said he was going to do. Now you've lost time, money, your youth, energy. I think you'd want to be compensated.
No, that's my bad.
It is also your bad.
That's it. For me, 100%.
Right.
That's my own fault. If I saw all these red flags, even if I didn't see all these red flags, if I was led to believe
Right.
that this was the guy for me, and I decided not to see these red flags, if they never were present and they all of a sudden became present 6 years later, it's still my bad for being in that relationship. It ain't nobody's bad. It's not his fault. He's doing what he wants to do.
Right.
He's playing me, whatever. All of a sudden, then a switch flips and he decides to not be an accountable guy anymore. Whatever the situation, this is not sue-worthy. I don't think there needs to be any compensation for this. I wasted my time with you. Lesson learned. Keep it moving.
Well, have that same energy for this man, because you didn't have a problem bashing the woman in that story, suing the boyfriend of 6 years.
Don't matter what gender.
Okay, well, keep that same energy,
I will.
because this man decided to sue. This is worse. His date.
I'm getting mad about this.
Listen, sued her because she was texting throughout their movie date.
I'm mad when people text, talk too loud at the movies. I am. I don't want to see the phone. I'm just saying, would I sue? No. People are so sue happy. I judge people that are sue happy.
Whew. Okay, so all that to say, I'll see you in court. No, I'm kidding.
All that to say, this is ridiculous. I think suing for your date being on their phone is ridiculous. So they both dodged the bullet with each other.
Right.
Because she's on her phone on a date at the movie theater.
Right.
It's already bad when you do it at a restaurant. At the movies?
Yeah, you're inside a movie theater. Come on now.
Dark room.
At the bare minimum, I know he's probably annoying. Maybe his breath was stank. Maybe she
was
knew.
disinterested.
Right. Clearly. Maybe she just used him for a meal. Whatever it is, just don't put yourself through that situation. Instead, just ghost him. Say you got diarrhea. Oh my gosh, I got food poisoning, and leave. It's better than you putting yourself, subjecting yourself to be in this movie theater, to be on your phone the entire time. To me, it's not, I don't want to say classy. That's not the right word. It's just not common etiquette.
It's unnecessary.
Right.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, he's justifying suing her because they went to a fancy seafood restaurant.
Right.
So he's like, well, you picked the seafood restaurant, and apparently finances must be in order for doing things like this. So I didn't think you'd have a problem with me suing you for this.
He sounds disgusting and
That's
petty.
what I'm saying. It's a red flag. Like, you're going to sue for that? Like, bro, if anything, and I think he should just take the L, finish your date. All right, whatever you spent. I get it. People spend money and they are upset if they don't receive energy from that money. And energy could just be like, at very minimum, look at me and talk to me.
Okay, so there's more to the story. The whole thing's on Time. You could go check it out. But the man is saying that one of the biggest pet peeves that he has is when someone's on their phone while on a date. Clearly, she was doing it, beginning of the movie, just nonstop on it.
Wow.
So he had told her, hey, why don't you go and continue whatever text message situation you have going on outside? So I guess she went outside and never came back.
Yeah, listen, I don't think you owe anybody anything if they buy you dinner, right?
Right.
But I think common courtesy is, if you're on a date,
Right.
at least have a conversation, at least look up, at least get off your phone. So I think he has the right to be mad, but I do not think he has the right to sue her. I think they both dodged a bullet with each other. And this guy is petty.
Has there ever been a moment between you and Tone, like a petty payment came up?
Petty payment?
Yeah. So meaning he didn't want to pay for something because he was being petty?
No, that's never. Tone and money, it's never going to be weird.
Okay. How about you? Have you ever been payment petty?
No, but you know what? I did get petty one time because he was like, and we just still haven't, we're having an argument about a bunch of things.
Right.
And then one of the things came up is we still haven't figured out our finances. I was like, you know what? All right. And then later that night, I stayed up till 4 a.m. to figure out finances so that we could be square, because we were at a point of trying to figure out who's paying for what.
Right.
So there was one night where I was like, man, F this.
Yeah.
And then I figured out finances, and then I paid him a bunch of stuff that, I owed him because we had agreed on certain things that we were going to pay for together. So I paid him for it. And that was me he's all, well, you don't have to do it now. It's like, okay, we have these conversations all the time, and it doesn't have to be about money. We'll fight about something. And then all of a sudden be like, all right, damn, I'll just do it right now. He's, well, you don't have to do it now. It's like, well, what are we fighting about?
Right. Yeah.
I remember, I think okay. The other day we were all at your house, me, Tone, Colin, we were kicking it at the house. We just finished this whole event Colin was getting honored for the Gordon Parks Award, right? You weren't home because you were working. You were doing something not at home. And then it's like midnight, right?
I was on video chat.
You were on video chat. So it's like midnight. We're chatting. Nessa's still chatting with us at midnight. Colin is dead tired.
Right.
I could tell because when we were on our way to the event, he couldn't keep his eyes open in the car. And that's not really like Colin.
Yeah. I mean, Colin starts his day 4 a.m.
He's working out.
Gets warmed up, go his workout situation 4:30 and all that.
He's tired.
Right.
I'm tired. Tone's tired. It's midnight. And then Colin starts moving boxes out of the hallway. And we're like, what's going on? He was like, I got to put these in storage. And Tone's always nice, guys. I can help you. And I'm thinking in my head, why are we doing this like literally right now? It's midnight and Nessa's on FaceTime. And I was like, oh, Nessa's probably been bugging Colin about it so much that he needs to get it done right now at this moment.
Right.
Or else he's going to keep hearing her lip and he also wants to prove a point to her. So I'm like, oh gosh. But it was one of those instances where it's like, y'all are just fighting. Guess what?
He has to move the boxes.
It doesn't have to happen right then and there.
Colin was going to leave. When was he going to do it? We'd have to wait another 6 months. I already waited a year of these damn boxes in the hallway.
Okay, maybe that's not the best situation.
If I left,
that's right.
I want to tell you something. If I was able to move it myself, I would have done it. Because you know what? I moved everything else. There were more boxes. There was more stuff to arrange. I did all of it. So the 3 remaining boxes that are so heavy that I needed Colin to move is what I needed. And no, he can't do it in another 6 months. I waited a year, Katrina.
Okay, all right. I get in those moods where Tone just keeps bugging me about something. I'd be like, fine. And then I move the heaviest things ever. And he goes, yeah, here, let me do it. I was like, no, I will do it. And this is what we fought about the other day. Because I was like, I got home. It was like midnight and I still had to keep working. So I was working till 6 a.m. Right. So I just had one of those days because we had work and the stuff we do has to get out timely. So I was having one of those days. Then Amara wakes up.
Your daughter.
I hadn't seen her, my daughter. And she, Tone texts me. He's all, hey, are you here? Are you up? She's awake. He's like, but I think she's going to go back to sleep. I was like, oh, I'll grab her. I'll put her to bed because I miss her. And I'm sure I can grab her and put her to bed. Grab her, bring her to bed. She doesn't go to sleep. 6 a.m.
I could have told you this because
she's excited to see me, but she doesn't go to sleep.
You rile your daughter up.
I grabbed her and we went back to bed and we're laying there.
Katrina.
And she's just looking. She had this huge smile because she saw me. Anyway,
Katrina.
Okay.
Katrina, I have to speak the truth right now because Tone is not sitting here and I feel like I would be doing an injustice.
Okay.
You rile your daughter up. You know what it means when you step in a room and your daughter sees you.
Okay.
It is going to be mayhem. It is going to be chaos. So Tone trying to avoid that situation because he actually wants her to be soothed, calmed, and going back to bed. He is trying to hint to you like, yo, you step in here. It's about to be a circus.
All right, let me finish the story,
Okay,
Nessa.
go ahead. So I just want to be fair.
As her mother, I feel that I could have grabbed her, brought her back down to the bed, and got her down. You know, I missed her, okay? So there's a selfish part of me that wanted to see her.
Selfish.
But I also really felt and believed I could have grabbed her and put her back down.
Selfish.
I believed I could have done it. So all that to say.
When have you ever done it?
All the time. She doesn't want to see dad, but let me finish my story, please, okay? So I put her down for bed. We're laying there. Then she goes, Mom, hi, Mom. I want to go to the living room. And I'm like, damn, I lost my window. Because at this point, it's 6:30 in the morning. I have to be out the door again at 9. So I was going to sleep for 2 hours and then get back out the door. But now she wants to play. So I go in the living room.
So Tone was right.
I go in the living room. We're playing. And then I text Tone. I'm like, hey, I got to sleep for a couple hours. Can you come out here and watch her? Mind you, it's 6:30 a.m. He's mad. It was like,
and why is he mad?
He's mad. He's all, if you just let me put her down, we all could have been sleeping right now. And I was like, well, check your attitude. So I'm giving him attitude back. Anyway, we go through this long circle of us now giving attitude back to the point that I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I don't need to sleep. I'll just watch her until I got to leave. And now he's mad. He's like, I'll just watch her. I'm like, no, I'm mad at you. Like, I'm pissed right now. I can't sleep. And I told him that. I'm like, yo, I'm pissed. I can't sleep. He's all, you're pissed because you woke me up? And this is going, and this, you can see how this is
the
happening.
cycle, yeah.
So I'm like, Just leave me alone and I will watch her now. Because
Did you
now-
watch her?
Yeah, now I got to prove a point and now I got to be petty.
Yeah.
to the detriment of myself.
Right.
So that whole day I ended up being up 40 hours, all because I decided to tell Tone, "Get your ass out of here if you're going to give me that energy."
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been known to be petty.
You're very petty. So you could sue someone for
No, I would not.
being a petty person.
No.
Well, anyways, I just thought it was really interesting that people sue one another when they feel like they've been done wrong. Could be financially, could be when their time, is mismanaged. And I think if you know and you're that confident to do it, you should do it. I am not that confident. I also don't believe in that. But someone who's able to put that together, put the evidence, hire maybe a lawyer or go to a small claims court or whatever it is.
Who has the time?
Clearly not you and me.
That's how bad this person wants to be right.
Yes.
Red flag.
Do we know anyone in our life that wants to be this right? No, I'm not. I do like to be right.
You like accountability. This is accountability.
I want accountability.
You want someone to claim if they did you wrong. The disrespect has to be, the apology has to be as loud as the disrespect.
So now what I've done in my life, I'm going to give you a gem.
Okay.
Before, I would try to make somebody understand why they should be held accountable for their problematic behavior.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, you did this. You were being petty. You actually misspoke on me. You misspoke on what I did. Mm-hmm. That's not right. You put me in a bad position. Now, hey, 1 + 1, if you say it's 10, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you think it's 10 and I'm not going to talk to you anymore. It's cool. Do you?
Hey, man. You know what they call that? Growth.
It's called being tired. It's called being a mom. It's called being exhausted, tired of carrying people's emotional baggage. Cool, bro. Do that.
Yeah.
And if you still feel that way, that's on you. Because listen, that's how they feel. I'm not going to sit here and debate you on how you feel. That is how you feel. I may not agree, but I'm not going to sit here and hold you in a courtroom to convince you otherwise.
Yeah.
Go.
Get out of here.
Whatever.
Anyway, now that we're fully riled up, please continue to watch our podcast.
Yes. Please like and subscribe our content so that it can make it through the algorithm. It is so important. We are not asking for anything else other than that, okay? If you want to leave a comment, great. We appreciate it. But yes, the more that you support, the more we can get through this algorithm, which is really, really important because we share all of our information. Katrina is on the brink of a separation. Apparently. And we are giving you everything that we got.
Yeah.
Please, bare minimum, subscribe to our content. Until next time, we'll see you later.